It's Monday Morning Mayhem. Monday Morning Mayhem. Why do I sing that? I don't know. It's like I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. That is what I do. We have to go somewhere early in the morning. My dad used to do that. So Monday Morning Mayhem, Monday Morning Mayhem. Although it is about 1:30 in the afternoon now. Thanks for joining us. This is Monday Morning Mayhem at the Infuse Project. Where we are a motivational revolution. Truly. My name is Joey, and this is actually a blogumentary where I am setting out to prove that no matter where we are starting, with some giggles, some grit, and just a few good friends, that we can design the life that we are intended to live. So last week was a little bit challenging. If you are a fan of our Friday Night Live, or if you haven't joined us yet, make sure that you go to the Infuse Project Facebook page. 4 o'clock every Friday, we get together, we hang out, we recap, we discuss. And last week we talked about the fact that two things had me foggy-headed. One was some serious rejection that I allowed myself to process in a very personal way. And then two was messaging. I was not clear on where we were going with this thing, what the messaging looked like. And that sometimes can be paralyzing. Anyone had that experience? Even if we don't know what we're saying to ourselves, it can be paralyzing. And then we had some family emergencies, and I had a really good workspace hurdle. My desk is in the kitchen, and it had become, well, you know, that place where everybody puts all of their things. And if I was honest, as I started cleaning it out, it turns out it was me mostly. And we promised that we would be honest with ourselves, but I couldn't sit here. I could not sit here. I certainly could not create. And I had no kind of organization of thought. No wonder why I was foggy-headed. So, got productive over the weekend. But listen, sometimes life just gets in the way. And what is important is that we recognize how we deal with it. And that we don't deal with it the same way every time. Because wallowing in ice cream and daytime TV may be okay for once. Maybe okay for an hour. Some people would say that it's not okay at all. I think that we can give ourselves some grace sometimes. But when we notice that we've done it twice in 1 week, maybe, 3 times in 1 week, we really should start questioning, is this the way that we want to deal with life getting in the way? So this week I dialed in. I am holding office hours, which I saw somewhere in this fight as I was preparing for today. I saw somebody talking about creative office hours, and I think one of the challenges I have, and one of the challenges that other people have, is because how many of us who work from home or in the freelance space, so many people think we don't even have a job. We don't really work because we're flexible. Well, that is so not true. But I think that sometimes in our own head, it's real easy for us to say, I work for myself, and so therefore I don't live by the same boundaries. Well, frankly, that's part of it. We want to live the life that we design for us, but at the same token, not only does your brain need to have a little consistency, but your customer does too. And I want to be able to provide that for you guys. So I'm working with these creative office hours. Today was the first day we kicked them off. From 5 to 7 a.m., I'm going to work on some administrative stuff, maybe some catch-up stuff, maybe responding to comments or emails. From 5 to 7, because I can juggle that with what happens here in the morning. And then I'll do my morning routine, which we all know that fitness is a priority for me. And so I'll do my morning routine, make my drinks and that whole situation, and then come home, take a shower so that I can be fresh-faced for you, and then be at my desk from 11 to 4. Now, the kids start getting home around 3, and so that last hour is going to be kind of challenging, but I want to push it because I've kind of trained them to respect when I'm in here, and but not push it too far because they need me in the afternoon as well. So from 7 to 9, then I'm going to focus in on actually doing my writing. Again, I can be available or I can lock in, whatever that looks like, but within that time space, I can be there for them. And certainly I actually like my writing voice better in the evening. I don't know if it's because I'm a little bit more relaxed or what that is, but that girl's a good time. So we're going to try to bring her to you all the time. And I've invested in a clear headspace. I wish that you could see actually what I had done here, but I just pulled my entire desk apart and hit reset. It's not perfect. It's not exactly where I would love for it to be, but it's more weighted. It's definitely more weighted more appropriately, and it is definitely, I've got kind of things that I can grab and stay focused and work on that one thing, because I just have too many things going on in my head all at one time. And so I'm trying to get to a place where I can say, okay, you are what I'm focusing on right now, you and only you. And so that's what I did here. I kind of created spaces where I can pull this out and say, okay, I'm focusing on you and only you. So that helped a lot, because I may not have sat here at 5 a.m. because our world went crazy. It was Monday morning mayhem at the Rivera house. Not a single shift got out okay this morning. So it was just nuts. But when I came in here to make my coffee and I looked at the workspace I have, I didn't feel like I was shoved back in a kitchen. I felt like it was prepared. It was waiting for me to sit at it and give it some command and tell it what to do and how we were going to conquer the world today. So that was awesome. And in an effort to showcase that resources are readily available for us, no matter what our starting point is, I went to Pinterest, our dear friend Pinterest. Now, at this stage of the game, I am not investing any additional dollars, just time and consistency. Those are what we are investing. Again, working on things I'm already doing, but I'm building this. I've stepped back from everything so that we can work with what we've got. So if you want to see what happens when you don't invest any money and when you're actually using free resources that are available to everyone, if you have a phone, if you have a computer, if you have access to a library, if you have a friend, you have access to the exact same tools and resources that I'm going to be using on this journey. So if you don't want to miss any of those, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I don't know what the button is. They move it all the time. But subscribe here, because we're going to cover some of those, and on Mondays I'll talk about actually what I'm looking at. And so let's do that right now. 10 things that you should do in the first 3 months of actually starting your online business. And so we're just going to do those 10 things. Actually, what is this? Oh, just kidding. Wrong. This is 10 sites that pay you to blog. So remember, my freelance writing is actually what pays for my ability to be able to travel and take some of this information on the road, and actually to be able to provide this kind of information or this kind of content. So those are 10 sites that pay you to blog. If you are trying to figure out where to make money, if you want to write, well, these are 10 sites that let us do it. This is from The Sway. This is the 10 things that we need to do within the first 3 months of building our online business, starting with setting goals. So I've scheduled to each of these things this week. This is what's literally on my task list. We're going to focus on one social media channel every week. So this week it's going to be Twitter, because it's not something I regularly utilize. I'm familiar. I'm on it. I have an account. I don't have a huge following. I don't have a huge level of activity, but that's going to tell us how we can grow our business. Maybe get some clients out of that. Got some great Twitter stories, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to do whatever that thing tells us to do and see how we can use it. And then a couple extra things that I think are fun. Number one, here are some references that we got back from the summer reboot, and so I need to add those to the website. And number two, I'm seriously thinking, listen, in my brain, every hustler has a soundtrack. And so I'm on this hustle journey for your entertainment, for your education, for your motivation, whatever is fun. But I figured that maybe we should have our hustle and playlist on our website. So if you like that idea, give me a thumbs up on this video, because I'm thinking that I'm actually going to take some time, and all those dance parties that I put out there generally on Fridays, but we'll add those. So anytime that you come to our website, you can get the music that you need to get in the right headspace. I want that for you. So again, if you like that idea, give me a thumbs up. And then on Saturday, I'm going to do a weekly summary of all of the things that I was able to accomplish, and frankly, what I wasn't. All the things that we're moving forward, how it worked, maybe what didn't, if it's something I'm going to continue to invest in, if I'm scheduling to it. So, and a link to all of these articles and resources and whatever it is that I use. So I'm doing all the legwork for you. If you don't want to miss any of that stuff, make sure that you go to theinfuseproject.com and you sign up for our newsletter. I'm going to put something out there that I'm going to give you guys something for being able to do that. Again, I know that somewhere along the line, somebody's going to tell us to do that. So I'm trying to not get too ahead of myself here, but I just want to make sure that you find value in what we're doing. Some of you will, some of you won't. Some of us are doing this together. So ready, set, here we go.